Chas Newby, who played bass guitar for the Beatles on a number of occasions during their early days, has died aged 81. He was a member of John Lennon's first band the Quarrymen and is thought to have died early on Tuesday morning. The cause of death is not yet known. Tributes to the musician have begun pouring in online as people paid their respects to the Beatles' first left-handed bassist. It's with great sadness to hear about the passing of Chas Newby, Cavern Club Liverpool, where the Beatles started their career, wrote on Facebook. Chas stepped in for the Beatles for a few dates when Stuart Sutcliffe stayed in Hamburg and latterly he played for the Quarrymen. Interestingly, he was also the first left-handed bass guitarist in the Beatles. R.I.P. Chas Newby. Thoughts and well wishes from everybody at the Cavern Club. The brother of the former drummer of the Beatles, Pete Best, confirmed the news on Facebook. Rogue Best wrote, "Both Pete and I and the whole Best family absolutely devastated to hear the very sad news with regards to one of the family's closest friends, Chas Newby, passing last night. Many of you will know him for playing bass guitar for both the Beatles and the Quarrymen, but to us he was laid-back Chas with a big smile. We'll truly miss him. Forever in our thoughts. God bless you, Chas." A Beatles historian also paid tribute and said, "Absolutely gutted to learn from Rogue Best that Chas Newby, the Beatles' first left-handed bass player, and friend of the Best family for nearly 70 years has passed away. A lovely man, always generous with his time. God bless you, Chas." The Beatles biographer and historian Mark Lewison tweeted, "R.I.P. Chas Newby, fill-in Beatle and fair chap. He deputized for Stuart on a few dates when the Beatles returned from Hamburg the first time, in 1960, including the momentous Litherland date. Latterly he's been one of the Quarrymen too. A charming man, always a pleasure to meet." And St. Peter's Church in Walton wrote, "We were so sad to hear the news that Chas Newby has passed away. Everything at St. Peter's sends our love, thoughts and prayers to Haas family and friends. Thanks, Chas, for the music, for your kindness and generosity, and for all the joy and happiness you brought to so many people. May you rest in peace." He played with Paul McCartney, George Harrison, Ringo Starr and John for a few gigs in 1960. Chas joined them at the Casbah Club in Liverpool, Grosvenor Ballroom in Liskeard, Litherland Town Hall and more. John wanted him to join them for a tour of West Germany but he opted to return to university. George and John both declined to take on the bass, so Paul reluctantly became the band's bassist. Chas previously joked his claim to fame was that he was the first left-handed bass player in the Beatles. Previously speaking to the Beatles City podcast, Chas said, "I borrowed a bass from a guy called Tommy McGurk, but of course Tommy was right-handed, so I got this bass guitar and it's not as difficult as it sounds, but I just played it upside down." Meanwhile, the bassist went on to teach mathematics at Droitwich Spa High School in Droitwich Spa. He lived in Ulster where he played in a charity group called the Rockets. From 2016, he performed as a member of the Quarrymen. Follow Mirror Celebs on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.